Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
Everyone say your.
Yeah.
Your mother.
Anyways, what's up? If you're listening wherever you are, thank you for showing up to this podcast. I'm here with three of my closest friends, some of them. I'm gonna introduce them in order of favorites. First, no.
Wow. So this is how we start. Okay.
Hey. Anyways, I got Bruce here, Bruce Rickards. I don't know if you know him. He's tall. I got Luqman Abdul Hakim Al Kanan Maknoon.
Bro, are you trying to get me like targeted or something?
You know, that's just his name.
Oh my God.
He's also a musical artist that has stuff coming out soon.
True. Look, man, bust like a little verse. Go on.
Pull up to the thugs in a bandana. Yo, when you hear the rest of the song, yell them.
Yeah, we penthouse giver, hey. Rubbing this.
Andale. Like a marathon. I gotta give me some Ferragamo. I gotta give me Italiano. Red bottoms, but blue Lambo.
Parmesan. Parmesan. I'm with the round zone.
We need to introduce Bob.
Copyright. All right, yo, everyone. Dominique D'Souza. Hello.
Hi, I'm the least favorite, so I'm number 3.
For you guys tuning in, Dominique is my girlfriend.
Ew. Cooties.
Worst decision of her life, but you know, she's here.
Best decision of my life.
Oh.
Okay, all right.
Yo, done that.
Allow it.
I just saw all of the viewers just leave. Subject of today's podcast is stagnation. So essentially, like, you know, like, I don't know, man. It's like you're going through life, you're going to school. When we're all like, how old am I? I'm 20.
I'm not going to school though.
All right. Well, you were going to school. You're just on a gap year. Look, man's 20. We're all like 20-ish. Bruce, you're 19, I think.
I turned 20 in a month.
Yes. Anyway, so we're around the same age, and it's like, you know, we're going through life, going through school and stuff like that, and like, you ever have this feeling where it's like you're just like existing, you know? Shout out to Dom's Instagram bio, because it's legit like living or existing, and that's really like kind of like what spurred the thoughts of this podcast. Because like I what's the word? I fuck with that, you know what I'm saying? Like, not like on a real, because like, you know, I'm gonna be honest. I go to U of T, gang. I'm very proud of myself. But like, I don't have plenty friends here, so.
Yo, you're pre that subtle flex though. Hold on.
Yo, man. Hey, I work for that still.
I go to UE.
I go to school, nobody knows.
That's fine. Hey, nothing's wrong with you. At least y'all go to school. Bruce is just like.
He got a gap year. Leave him.
True. Hey, yo, I'm just bullying. I'm living like half my best life, half my worst life. You know what I'm saying? Stagnated at all.
Hey, stagnant gang. Hey.
Stagnant gang. Wow.
Basically, stagnation can mean you're like in an 8 to 4 routine every day in your life, doing the same thing over and over.
Exactly. Well put. So, I mean,
but it can also mean that, you know, your mental state is stagnant. I mean, your physical state doesn't have to be stagnant, and you feel that you're stagnant. You might be moving forward in every sense of the word, like academically, maybe, and and in the other sense as well, but like mentally you just feel like, yo, I'm still stuck in the same place.
Yeah, exactly, man. Because like, regardless of what you're doing through day-to-day tasks, if you keep doing that, you will be progressing, right? I mean, I go to school, I play tennis. Even though I feel stagnant, I'm still getting better at school, getting better grades, getting better at tennis. So you can still be improving in the areas that you're practicing in, but still feel stagnant at the same time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what I want to talk about is like, we all tend to do like our little projects. So, look, man, Bruce and I went to school in Jamaica. We went to Hillel Academy, and we always I don't know if we can say year nowadays, man, but
bleep out the name of the school.
Yeah. We'll edit that out. We'll edit that out.
Yeah.
We go to Anyways,
Like,
so,
you know, he gets sued. I don't know.
yeah.
Bro,
So
no, we just lost like 5 viewers right there because they're gonna be like, oh, they went to that school. Like,
yeah. No, I have to try
They're gonna be
find a slick way to edit that out.
Dude. Wait till you see the.
Oh
Oh,
no. Yeah, exactly. They'll be like, look at this dude.
oh my god.
No.
Bro.
But for real, like we did a few projects. I think one of Lookman's most notable ones was he did two. He did this evening of the arts thing. I think that was his idea. Right? You want to tell us about that, Lookman? Like why you started it and stuff like that? Just briefly, so we don't stray.
Yeah. Briefly, you know, I have a problem with brief.
Boxes all the way still, but brief.
Oh wow.
Nah, here's a problem with Breeze because all he does is take them off at the gal.
Hey, wait. But why is your gal wearing briefs still?
Bruv. Yeah, Bruce. Why is your gal wearing brief?
Bruce takes
I don't get that though. Still, so it's all good.
Bruce takes a girl back to his place. She's wearing
Yo,
briefs.
it's 2019, bro.
No.
It's 2019. You know, like if you're a girl, briefs, that's okay, Bruce.
Fam,
I mean,
man. Bruce,
whatever you like.
Dog, Bruce drops the pants, sees the girl wearing briefs. Bruce goes,
What?
Nani?
No, but I did it because well, I'm just the type of person that I really like to make people happy. Like I've realized that's just who I am. And because I am also a big artsy guy. Like I'm fan of the arts, all the arts. Although
you can say it. I'm an artist. I'm oddly in my country these days. You can say it, man. You can say it. It's a free space.
For sure. I'm an artist. I'm actually oddly in my country these days. You know, Yardman come on Netherlands. You know, Coachella from in Netherlands.
That's Dom's favorite song. Yay!
Bado.
What kind of gun that?
What?
Hold on. Boom blast!
What kind of limp gun you shooting down?
Boom blast.
Let's keep going.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So,
So I put on the show because I wanted to showcase the talents of my school and really I
Okay, you're doing great.
I'm sorry, I'm waffling. But yeah, I don't know how I can't really relate it back to Stagnation, to be honest. But I'm the type of guy who, I like to make people smile, and that was my way of kind of getting a reaction by putting on a show. Mm-hmm. So, and not just me performing by myself, but bringing other people who are talented together and, showcasing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, we tend to do like these little projects and stuff. I mean, at least I tend to, and Lookman does. When sometimes I feel like, I have certain goals. We all do. And I'm going to be completely frank. It's kind of strange, but school and tennis, the things that I really care about the most, like in my day-to-day routine, they really don't do much to contribute to my goal, Like, I want to have a massive effect on my country, which is Jamaica, in the future. And to do that, I need to be quite influential and quite knowledgeable and, have links, as it were. So school does help with that because it helps me gain knowledge and expertise so I know what I'm doing. But at the same time, there's other aspects, like you have to be well known, you have to be charismatic and stuff like that. So when I get caught up in the routine, I'm just like, well, I'm not really doing much towards my goal, or as much as I should be doing. So,
but the thing is, with people who have big goals like you and and let me not say big goals, it's just goals that are, I guess, not so common because they have a lot more risk. Like if you want to be the prime minister of a country, there's a lot more risk to that. It's a longer process. The chances are slimmer. I mean, this is one prime minister. It's not like you can be a doctor where there's 1,000 doctors. It's one prime minister. And when you look at an artist, for example, I want to be an artist, right? There's a lot of talented people out there, but not everyone is going to be well known. Not everyone's going to be famous. Not everyone's going to catch, and not everyone's going to stay up there for a long period of time. So when you're looking to get to a certain place like that, with a big goal like that, you have to put in way, way, way more work, and it requires more than just like an academic route.
Exactly, man.
There's a system right now that most countries use, that societies in general in 21st century use, for a child to grow up and then integrate into this, I guess, gear box of what society is. And as you're going through that, you can feel like, I'm just a part of this machine. I'm not really an individual. And that is one of the things that can make a person feel like, they're in the same place that they are. They're just
exactly, man. Yeah.
moving forward in reality, and then mentally they're not really doing what they're doing. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
Well, going off of what do you call it? Look, man, like I'm a person that loves to make people happy, right?
That's
and that.
Not that look, man, wasn't facts, but like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, but yeah. Well, how I differ from the rest of you though is that I'm taking. Well, it's not really that much of a difference, but I'm taking a gap year, so like the space for me to like do any sort of activity or start some sort of project is has a wider range, and with all the stuff that's going on in my personal life, and which tends to affect me from time to time, for me to be stagnant is a higher chance, because like throughout this gap year, for me, like I have to admit I've been stagnant. I've been stuck personally in growth, and for me to take on any sort of activity, well, I have tried many things in the past, and now I'm thinking of like I interned at a lab at UWI in the natural sciences lab. I'm taking a break off that now due to some things I'm dealing with. But right now I'm thinking of starting a new project in with our friend Rakeem, who's supposedly supposed to be on our next podcast, and I'm thinking about making clothing, because because my favorite artist of all time musically and in fashion is Tyler the Creator, right?
Oh.
And his he has a starting off, they thought he was reckless, thought he was ignorant and all that, but as he grew up and matured personally, he learned how to express himself in many ways, more than one. And so that really inspired me to try express how I felt throughout this gap year, because this gap year that I've been taking has been like a roller coaster of emotions and all sorts of things. And so like it took me a while to like get this idea and try formulate it properly, so I don't just like dash it to the side and then I become stagnant again and just sit around and do nothing.
Yeah, if you're gonna do something, like stick to it. And I think it's important to like, even if you find yourself stagnant, you don't have to launch some major project, right? Just do something that's out of your routine, you know.
Yeah, and then, so if you get like stuck to like there was a good like 2 months where I just like wake up, eat food, watch YouTube, go back to sleep, and then I would just be like, oh, that's what I'm just gonna do for like my whole gap year, and that's what I thought I was gonna do. And so if you don't try to like put some like how would you say it, like something exciting, like spice it up, like something exciting,
some seasoning.
Some seasoning, you get me? Right? Yeah. So like it's easier for us as human beings to become stagnant and just to become disinterested. Well, personally, I am, because I hate repetitive stuff.
Isn't it ironic though? Sorry. Yeah. Isn't it ironic that getting a routine is supposed to help you to kind of regulate the life that you have and to move forward like at a pace that is consistent. You know, when you're going to school, you're trying to get through that semester, you have a routine so that by the end of the semester, when you have your exams, you're Gucci. You know, you're okay. And the routine is exactly that, to make you consistently study, for example, so that at the end you have what you need to get where you really want to go in the end. But then in that routine, getting stuck in that routine can make you feel like you're stagnant somehow.
Of course, and just the fact of feeling stagnant, man, like it can have some pretty like detrimental effects on mental health and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I'm actually relate to that, to be honest, because my situation right now, I'm studying law at Maastricht University, but
shout out to all my law students in the podcast. We got
true.
It's just two of us.
We got two. Still, shout out all my law students. Y'all doing it big. Two of y'all can bail out Bruce and I, whatever. When we always
I go to UE. I'm not bailing out anymore.
Yo, stop trashing the place, man.
Yo, they give you an education, B.
Yeah, I hope you don't get sued.
Like that.
Right? Bro, some people get into you and head off like, yeah, boy. You know? Like, that's like a major accomplishment, yo.
That's only med students.
Yo, no shade, no shade.
Nah, man, this is so shady right now, man. People are gonna hate us.
No.
Yo, before we go on for it, dog. Yo, I saw a meme on Twitter the other day, and it said nobody, and there was nothing, and then it said UE med student. He's like, hey, I'm a UE med student.
Yo, facts,
you know?
I'm sorry. All y'all med students, y'all need to chill. I just on like Finsta or something, just trying to chill. All I see is just like your assignments. I understand it's hard, and I'm proud of you for going to med school. But I don't care. I'm really sorry. Gosh.
Nah, but it is. I know it's hard. It's actually very hard, actually. So, props to them still.
Props to them still. Yeah. Don't worry. We're just a bunch of pussy shit talking. It's all good. You don't have to listen to it.
Put it this way. If we could handle med school, we'd be going there now, which we are not. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Under no, we may be giving you guys problems, but like, don't take it seriously, man. We're just messing around. Anyways, Dom, what do you think about the whole thing? You only had some insight to add, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, just like Bruce, I took a gap year, and
what
I did
you
everything.
do? Gang. I mean, I know,
Well,
but
you're
like,
about to find out. Here's the story.
Oh, yo, y'all hear this? Y'all hear this sass, bro?
So, just like Bruce, I took a gap year after I graduated from high school.
Gang.
From
And I decided-
you're from Trinidad. I just want to put that out there.
I'm from St. Joseph's Convent. It was an all-girls nuns that tried to conform us. That's a different case. Okay, so here's the tea. Everybody listen to my story.
All right. Let me get some popcorn.
So, basically, I did a gap year, and I did everything I could towards my goals of being a chef. I wanted to study culinary arts. And I never felt stagnant in that entire gap year because I was very productive. I went to culinary school for 6 months. I did everything. At the end of it, I got offered a scholarship in Switzerland.
Oh, what? A scholarship?
Yeah, a scholarship.
Nice.
Study culinary arts in Switzerland. And then at that time, I decided, and my parents mostly decided that this wasn't it, chief, and that law is it. And I agreed with them, which was the biggest mistake of my life.
Same.
Yo, brother, your parents were like,
Stop it.
Get some help.
So at the end of the day, I can agree with the stagnation mentality because some people put themselves in it, i.e. me. And then you find yourself stuck. You're getting through law school, you're doing great, you're getting great grades, but you don't want to be here doing that
Right.
at the same time. And
Then you could be like me, who's also going through law school and not getting good grades. stagnant at the same time. But continue. Sorry.
There's two views to stagnation here.
Yeah.
So you get the good grades, you impress your parents, but then you find yourself getting depressed because you're not impressing yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you just
Or
end
you
up
could-
sadder.
Yeah, or you could not get the good grades, and in one sense of your life be like super disappointed because you have all the capability to do so, and then in the other sense of your life you're like enjoying it because your neighbor is a music lover just like you and actually has a studio in his apartment, so you go over there and spend most of your time making music instead of studying.
This man is just plugging himself to the whole podcast.
Yeah, for
man.
real.
It's like,
This man is.
He's like marketing himself.
exactly, man. It's alright. Worth it though.
Yo, but-
Gotta support
hey,
the
but-
dogs.
But shout out, look, man, though. Put it on that graph for that music work,
real,
though.
man.
He been killing it. Yo,
Man,
We're trying.
Penthouse
Yo.
Scheming. Oh god, that's
It's
the
funny-
catchiest song, man.
It's funny though, because somebody had to remind me today that you're young and you have like time.
You have
ahead
time.
of
That's what I'm
you.
saying, man. But like, I don't know.
Yeah. But
know,
we feel because when you feel some of us when we feel stagnant, like we feel like we're not moving anywhere. And for me, that's another reason why I guess I'm always trying to put on projects as well, because I never want to feel like there's nothing I'm doing. I need to be doing something. I
Yeah,
need to
for
be
sure.
taking some steps towards something.
I mean,
So-
we're young and you're saying we have time, but at the same time, there's so much pressure for us to make decisions at such
That's
a young age.
That's
for
fact.
kids.
And I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, I'm not one to complain and stuff, but I was not prepared to make half of these decisions that I'm making today, man. Like, I mean, shout out to high schools and stuff, but honestly, I think that, I mean, I see it on Instagram all the time, and I'm a bit not like a wagonist, but I think it's true, man. Like, there needs to be like redo the curriculum or something, man. Like, change the syllabus or something. Just
Yo,
incorporate.
bro, how am I supposed to do my tax brackets if I don't know how to do it?
Yo, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, no, big
Yeah,
man
for
thing,
sure,
bro.
for sure.
I have my taxes are due like at the end of April, and I'm just like, legit. Last year, I was like, wait, I have to pay taxes. I had to ask one of my professors at school, and they're like, yeah. I'm like, what if I don't? They're like, that's illegal. You go to jail. And I'm like, oh, all right.
See, I don't even know about taxes.
Yeah.
You have to pay taxes in Barbados, though.
No, I mean, I hope not.
That's the thing. We don't know. No one knows.
I hope not.
In the Netherlands, you don't have to, like, as a student, as far as I know,
Right.
you don't have to pay. Oh, if you're not earning a certain amount, I guess.
I see. Now here we still have to pay, but like you get it back if you're under a certain threshold. That's why we
Yeah, I
see
think
all,
that's
all
it,
the
that's
memes
it.
like as when the tax return hits and everyone's like balling.
Yeah,
Essentially,
but then if you don't know how to do your tax returns, because that's
Yeah.
also a process in itself, I think you
Yeah.
actually have to file for that at some point.
Yeah. My mom has like some, I don't know if he's an accountant or what, but she just takes like some forms that I have my employer send and my school, and then that gets sorted out. So
For all you kids who don't know that you have to do taxes, this is for you.
yeah, facts, fam. As soon as you hit 18, you're on your own, family. You have to like find out how to do taxes, how to cook. Well, I don't know. I mean, I still can't cook. I'm 20 years old. But
You can cook.
you
But the
literally
point
told
is, we
me,
don't.
Nah, man. I just like to say, I hate to call you out, Dom, but like I love you, but like you keep changing your mind. Cause 2 days ago you're like you
You do
can't
some
cook.
shaky things in the kitchen, but
You're
you
like-
can cook.
But she's all like, yo, you can't cook. You can't even cook rice. And I'm just like, oh man,
Listen,
that hit me.
Yo, look, man, we have a cut down. They're having a debacle right now.
Nah. Hey, we keep it professional. HDE coming at you with that professional. I forget what I was gonna say. Whatever. Anyways,
But anyway, so you feeling like you're not really move nowhere, right? That's
The
That's
general
what-
I'm
consensus.
sorry. Was that Jamaican Creole?
oh sorry yeah, language, yeah. Wow.
No. That's just nah. I'm just joking.
See,
I can't
So-
even say that's how the Canadians talk to me because they all know like the Jamaican and stuff, Toronto slang and that.
bro, everyone's trying to copy Yardman style.
That's what I'm
Not gonna lie.
saying, man.
Not lie.
An exciting set of people. Facts.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, bro. But you have to shout at the Toronto man. Them still though. They have it down, fam.
Boy, Tory
Yeah.
Lanez. Beat on in
Yo.
the cut. Where are you?
Yo,
Beat on if you're listening, young Tory Lanez out here. God, he's gonna kill me for saying that.
He got that wavy hairline.
Wavy.
But at the end of the day, all the choices we make, I hope you guys know you always end up disappointing somebody.
Facts.
Can't always
Yeah.
make everybody
Facts.
happy.
And if you're going to disappoint somebody, make sure it's not yourself. That's
That's how you get stagnant, to relate it back.
Big man thing. Well done, dog.
Yeah.
For real.
For real. I remember in high school, I was always trying to impress my dad. And like, shout out to Dad if you listen. I love you, man. Yeah, and
Uncle Andrew in the cut, bro.
Andrew, man, that's a legend, man. I miss him so much. Anyways, I'd always try to impress him and stuff. Yeah, bring home like some decent grades. He'd be like, "Okay, cool." I'd win some tennis thing. Okay, the tennis thing I kind of brought upon myself because I don't know, going through my teenage years, I was a real brat. Not even gonna lie. Like my dad would come
I can confirm.
Fact, man. I really wonder how I still have like half the friends I've had today. Because when I was like 13 through to when I was like 15, even I was a horrible kid.
Still a brat.
Wow. I can't even argue. I deserve it. This is me accepting. I'm trying to move forward, but like my dad would come to watch me, man. He'd drive me to tennis, pay for all my lessons. Tennis gear ain't cheap. Each racket is like $200 US. I have 4, So he put all this effort into my tennis, and he'd come to watch me, and I'd lose because that shit happens sometimes. Sometimes I'm just saying I was a pretty good tennis player.
Yeah.
Sometimes. And
you're actually good. So
hashtag national team, baby. I'm the junior level, not on the senior level.
But first though, we have to shout out Uncle Andrew's Racks. Pinnacle Construction.
Follow Pinnacle Construction JA on Instagram. If you want to support your boy, that's my dad's business. We'll set up a PayPal in the description if you want to donate towards this podcast.
Oh my
Helps me out with my rent.
Go fund me.
Yeah. But yeah, and he puts all this effort into it, and I just be complete brat if I'm losing. He'd be like, "Come on, Danny," I'll be like, "No, leave." Anyways, yeah. So that tennis part I kind of brought upon myself, but like school, I remember I got deputy head boy. I honestly didn't really. I mean, like I'm so thankful I got it because it really taught me a lot. But at the time, 2 things went through my head: scholarships for school, and like, yes, this will finally be it. Like. After like 6 years of trying to impress my dad, I got this, So, and in reality, Canadian schools didn't even look at that. So there was really only one thing, which was like to impress my dad. And I remember he picked me up from school, and we were on our way to tennis, and I said he was listening to BBC Radio 1 or Radio 4. It's 104 FM on in 104.7 if you're in Jamaica. Tune in. I don't know why I remember that, but and I was like, Dad, I got deputy head boy. Turns on the radio. It's like, I'm like, I got deputy head boy. Oh, okay. Turns back up the radio. Keeps driving. I'm just like, what?
And that's what happens. That's the disappointment you get when you're doing things not for yourself.
Man.
I mean, it sounds selfish, but certain things in life you should be doing genuinely and honestly for yourself. Otherwise, you end up again feeling like you're not really moving anywhere because you can end up that way because you're depending on somebody else's approval
for your satisfaction and for your happiness, man.
Exactly, and for your growth.
Exactly,
you
can't be doing that, man. I mean, and this leads us to the next part of our conversation. Not that we have any structure, but I remember when I was trying to do this TED Talk thing, Bruce, we were talking about how to balance selfishness and selflessness. I'm looking at it on my screen right now. Remember that talk we had?
Yeah.
Because you and I are both pretty selfless people, and we always found that like we'd be selfless for these people, and it would like never be reciprocated, So it's like if with regards to maybe like your parents, or if someone's like pressuring you to do something in school or play a sport that you don't want to play, there's a difference. Like putting yourself first in that aspect isn't necessarily being selfish, man.
No,
I mean,
for sure. It
there's
doesn't.
an analogy
No.
I like to call upon. It's a pretty good one. I actually just thought about it. I'm out here freestyling, but like when you're on a plane, right? Shout out to Caribbean Airlines too. If you know if you know what I'm hinting at. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. Dumb.
Oh wow!
Hey,
Wow!
Mom.
Wow!
Shout out to Caribbean Airlines and all the
This is
people
new information.
and all the people who work there. But you know when you have the safety demonstrations in the plane, right? You guys know what I'm talking about with the cars and stuff. And there's like,
Yeah, I do.
if there's a I know you would. If there's a loss in cabin pressure and those masks fall down, what does it always tell you to do?
Put your on first before
Put
you
your
give
mask
to
on
the
first before you help. And because that's the thing, it's essentially saying that if you don't put on your mask first, you can pass out before you help other people to put on their mask.
That's a really good analogy.
Facts, bro. Like if you want to be like, I don't know, like I love to help people. I like to help people by making them happy, but also just giving good advice. You know, like people come to me with everything, all lots of problems, and I love that. I encourage you to, because I'm a busy guy, but when it comes to like people having some sort of issue, I have all the time in the world for you. So I'm gonna plug my Instagram in the description. I'm here to I talk about anyone with anything. I just want to help. But if you're like me and you love helping people by either making them laugh or just giving them advice, if you don't take care of yourself, there's no way you can take care of the other people. And it's like it's like a sort of trade-off, you know? Or I don't know, but like put it this way. Me, one person, can probably help 10 people. And then those 10 people, if they can each help 10 people, it multiplies, you know? I'm not good at math, but I know that makes sense.
For sure.
If I don't take care of myself and I don't reach those first 10 people, I'm essentially foregoing the benefits and the prosperity of like hundreds of people, you know? So that's my thing, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, can I go back to one of the points that we're talking about?
Yeah, for sure, man.
All right. So
You think I'm gonna tell you no? Like
I'm just making sure, dog. Shit,
No,
man. Like,
No, man, I'm a positive. This is the stuff he always does. Bruce has been like one of my longest friends
He's
on this
just polite.
planet.
Leave him alone. Go
No,
ahead.
man, Bruce. I've known Bruce since the 7th grade. Okay, since we were 11. We're 20 years old, almost 10 years, probably over 10. I don't even know when we first met. It was so long ago. Bruce is like legit my family member. Bruce will walk into my house, and my dad and my son will be like, "Oh, so it's Bruce." You know, it's not like, "Hi, Bruce." Like, "Oh, what up, Bruce? You're here again? Cool." Bruce has like every entitlement to my property as I do. So I want to know why this man comes to my house, waits for my parents to come home and be like, "Oh, Daniel, please can I have some water?" I'm like, "Bruce, you've been here for 4 hours. You're here like every other weekend. You know where the fridge is. You know where the cups are. Why are you asking? And why do you choose to ask as soon as my parents come home?"
I just want to be polite, dog. Just
man.
leave me alone.
But like when it's a two, no, that's the thing though. When it's a two of us, you get up and you do it yourself. But you wait for my stepmom or my dad to come home, and then I get shit for it too, because they're all like, "Wow, Dan, you don't even feed your friends, or you don't even offer the man a drink." I'm like, "Dad, no, that's not what it's like."
No, I'm not just gonna raid your fridge with your parents or who without asking.
my
Like,
gosh.
I'm
But
not gonna
Haley,
do
you did the
that.
same thing to me though. You can't give Bruce shit.
What are you talking about? Hey, hang on a sec. What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about. The first time you ever came by me and you were like, "I just want some water. I wish you would offer me."
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. That was funny.
All right, so back to my point now.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Well, but you didn't offer me water though, and that's the thing. That's the first time I met you, so it's different. Anyway, I'm not here to argue this.
Back to Bruce's point.
Back to Bruce's point. Sorry. That really. Sorry, I had to get off my chest, man.
Right? No, it's more about social media and like, you know, getting like approvals from other people and that type of shit. Like,
I'm guilty. Dom's guilty
Right.
too.
Hey,
Yeah,
well,
well,
don't
yeah.
call my name in your
My name is Daniel, and if I don't get 300 likes on my post, I'm gonna delete it.
Facts. Dom does the same. Dom does the same. Dom
Can you stop dragging me into your problems? I didn't
Alright,
sign up
all
for
right,
this.
all right, hey, calm down.
It really do be like that in the streets, though.
All right, so right, and then like start of February, like went through some rough stuff, and it started snowballing, and I got into this habit of just checking my phone every 2 seconds, and then expecting something new to pop up and expecting like, you know, if I post something that I get so much like people like hail me up and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And, like,
you get that gas.
I get that gas, you see me? And then like when it came down to it, I just sat and like thought, I had a deep meds about it, and it's like Instagram.
That means thought, by the way. Meds equals thought.
So yes, if you're listening in anywhere other than Dom, do Trini people say meds?
No, but I've been dating a Jamaican for like half a.
If you didn't realize.
Oh, yeah. True.
That's you, Hilly.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. I'm a bit slow sometimes.
All right, so I had a deep meds about it, and so when I thought about Instagram, like I had like half of it was like it's entertainment, but then I had this like malice of it in the back of my mind, thinking that why, like, what's the point of me going on Instagram? Is it to go on my Finsta to vent, or to just look at people's posts and like them and comment and try have a social interaction on there? And then, but I end up thinking like, oh, like why can't I get like this many likes, or how I don't have this much followers? And when it came down to it, I was like, I really shouldn't care about that, because I am my own person. I don't need anybody's approval or attention to feel like myself or to feel good about myself. And so I ended up deleting it, and it's been one of the my better choices in life, because I'm not gonna sit on my phone and just wander around and feel like, oh, I feel like shit because like I haven't posted or whatever.
It helps to remove that that notion about like external validity, you know, having to have other people approve.
I think it's harder for girls, and that girls could probably take a different standpoint.
For sure.
If we don't have validity in society, then that's basically the basis of our existence.
That's true. Wow. That's true. That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
It's to meet social standards that men themselves set, that we have to look a certain way.
Yeah. I saw this post where it's like, I'm really going to misquote it here, but it's like, if a woman has kids, it means she doesn't care about her career. If she doesn't have kids, it means she can't take care of a household. If she, you know, and it went on, the list went on, man. It's like, if a woman dresses like too conservatively, she's stuck up and she's a nerd. If she dresses too openly, she's a hoe. If you know, if a woman asserts herself, this is in the Nike ad. I'm like combining two. Like, if a woman is passionate, she's emotional, things like that. You know, it's I don't know. It's kind of not kind of. It is messed up, because it appears that like no matter what a woman could do, society's always going to be like, yeah, well, you know, like why can't you guys just like allow it, bro? Allow it. Like, let them.
I think it's easier for girls to be stagnant, actually, raising a pretty fair point.
But first, let's shout out all the feminists out there. You know, we fight the same fight for y'all. We love it. Let's go.
We love y'all. I love. Oh, hang on. I'm trying to not sound. I want to say I love my women, but like, I was about to get hit with a. Gosh, but like, yeah, man. My grandma, my granny. Those are my two. My mom, my aunts, all of them. You know, I've been surrounded by such strong women. Oh, Dom, yeah, I hear her coughing. Yeah, Dom too. I've had the privilege of knowing like such strong women in all of my life. Like, how can you not have respect for women, bro? Like, I hear stories that my grandma tells me when she first migrated to Canada from Jamaica, and like how what she had to go through and stuff, just because she was a woman, and a black woman at that, you know. And she's still kicking, she's still strong, she's still resilient. And same thing with my mom, same thing with my aunt, everybody. So huge shout out to women, huge amount of respect. I think they deserve all the praise they get, and more, probably way more than what we could ever fathom. And yeah, honestly, man.
You know, interesting.
Go ahead, Luke.
Sorry, interesting enough, like those people who have, like, feminists, for example, who have like a genuine connection to a cause, something that they're really passionate about. I think that you'll find that those people maybe don't find themselves in stagnant positions as much if they're genuinely like, you know, pushing for this cause, because they're actively trying to do something to bring about some sort of change in the surroundings, the environment that they're in.
Yeah.
Just thought that, that's another way that you can help yourself out of a certain stagnancy. Is if you find something that you're passionate about, find something. It doesn't have to be like, artists who are passionate about their art, or a sports person who is passionate about their sports. It could just be an idea, a concept that you think that if the world was aware of, then the world would be a better place
for sure, man.
to go and run with that. That can also help with moving out of this stagnant place.
Just to clarify, if you are going to do that, which is a great suggestion, please, I beg you from the bottom of my heart, properly educate yourself on the topic. Cause oh my gosh, man, how many people I see on Twitter, like, they probably don't even understand the proper definition of feminism. Feminism is equality. Men,
that's a different podcast. Let's not go there.
That's very true. That's very true.
Different podcast, but like, come on, man. Like, some people think that means that women will start to rule men. Nah, that's not the case.
All right, so moving on.
Anyways, just to summarize that one segment, I just want to say,
all women are queens.
I just think before you drop out of school and decide you're stagnant and do the most, you should really educate yourself.
Drop out of school? Whoa.
Yo, people who are stagnant actually wants to drop out of, per se, law as an example.
Yeah, I can actually
example.
I can relate to that thought, actually. I have thought countless times, I really, really like this music thing. I'm very passionate about music right now. I really could just drop out of school and pursue it 100%. And maybe my chances of, blowing up would be more because I start earlier, because I'm genuinely so passionate about it. But the smart thing to do would be to just stay in school.
Don't let only passion drive you. Be educated on what you're doing.
That's what I'm saying, man. And people, I remember, like, who remembers, like, there's a grade 7 memes where it's like, I'm not good at math, but guess what? Bill Gates dropped out of school, or like Mark Zuckerberg. I'm like, okay,
that's not how it works.
They dropped out, but they dropped out of like Harvard, okay? So if you are going to pursue that and drop out, sure, but just don't be rash about it. Think about it. Make sure you have a backup plan.
That's what feeling stagnant can make you do. Can make you make some very irrational decisions. But I had a conversation with an uncle recently, and he said to me, with everything that you do, you have to make a calculated decision about it. Mm-hmm. So, don't let your emotions cloud your judgment when it comes to the big decisions that you have to make in life, and even some of the small ones. But
shout out! I want you to repeat what you just said. Repeat what you just said, because that's true.
Well, yeah, just don't let your emotions cloud your judgment. If you feel like you're stagnant, there's a reason that you're stagnant. Wow. Okay.
I identify.
If you feel that you're stagnant, there's a reason you feel that you need to target the root of the issue and work your way out from there. Jumping and making a decision just because you're deep in this emotional rut is not going to help the situation genuinely. It's only going to temporarily remove it's going to temporarily distract you. Really, that's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Without addressing the problem. It's similar to like alcohol and drugs, man. Like, you're in a crappy situation, you turn to those things as a savior type thing, but it's not solving the problem. And because you're in such a distressed state, that's what pushes you to make that decision in the first place. And it's palliative. That's the word that I was thinking of.
Hey, big word.
I just wrote a 13-page research paper on remittances, and I'm gonna talk about it. I don't care what y'all want to say. I'm gonna bore all y'all, but I'm proud of myself because I finished that shit. But it basically said that like the sending home of remittance payments is palliative because it doesn't address larger economic problems. In other words, if the economy was good in the first place, people wouldn't fly overseas and then send money back home because people could earn the same money there. It is.
I'm sorry, all I heard was blah, 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 blah. I don't understand half of those words. Love you, the hill.
I mean, at the same time, if you've identified you're stagnant from this entire conversation, it's not going to be easy. Let's say your parents are the reason why you're stagnant. It's not always easy. Go up to your parents and say, hey, I'm dropping out of school. I'm pursuing my passion.
Especially if you have Caribbean parents, fam.
It's not going to be that easy.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to go with the timeline that you're given in life. You know, if it is that the easiest thing for you to do would be to just hold it down for the next year and a half, like my situation, for example, and then afterwards pursue what you need to pursue, then sometimes you just need to go with what you're given, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Even if you don't like ackee and saltfish, that's what you dished out, you know? I don't know who don't like ackee and saltfish.
What does ackee even taste like?
Oh, wow, okay.
Oh.
Wow.
That's a different podcast now.
I heard it tastes like scrambled eggs. Is that true?
What?
Yo,
which what?
Yo, hold on. Okay, all right.
You can't call colors. You can't call.
Bro, oh my god.
I'm trying to get educated in your culture in this.
All right, ignore it. Let's ignore that. Let's ignore that. What?
I'm trying to be educated on your culture.
Dumb. It's okay.
Stop. It's okay. We'll talk about this later.
off air. We got
off air. All right.
Fam, so, yo, please don't roast Dom in the comments, bro. I like,
I'm from Trinidad. I don't know.
Pelao.
Okay, let's keep going.
All right, so like, what to do when you're stagnant? Well, like personally for me, I took a real big step back, to assess the situation, basically.
Wala meds.
There's wala meds, you know. Like I deleted Instagram. I stopped doing streaks on Snapchat for those of you who do that type of stuff.
Screw you, fam. We're at like 350, by the way. But
that was streak again, Bruce.
Fam, like I'm gonna be honest with you. You could have just given me your password and But anyway.
Sorry, Kai. I can't interrupt just for Bruce. I'm gonna let you continue. But another thing with social media, because we live in a kind of a fast-paced society, and social media gives us this kind of instant gratification sort of thing, where we feel like there's something always happening in our lives because you're going to post something and you're going to get some more likes, and somebody's going to comment something different onto your post, so you might get a different DM, or there's always things happening on social media in real time. But it's happening quickly, you know what I mean? So it can give you this impression that, your life is actually just fine, and you're...
Oh yeah, no, definitely. No, you have a good point there, because niggas stay flexing on their Instagram thinking that they're all happy and stuff, and could
what
be
is
going
reality?
to the most stuff.
Yeah, man. I am guilty. Because I actually do this thing when it's sort of like a defense mechanism for me, because I hate feeling vulnerable, and when I'm sad I feel vulnerable. So I actually had this thing. If you're a real one, if you scroll through my gram to those 2016, this picture is still there, but I'd be in utter shambles, and I'd just be posting beach day, you know what I'm saying? Just not the case. No, and that's the other thing. If you compare yourself, and this is common knowledge now, because everyone says this, but it can't hurt. I am never going to post. Well, actually, I shouldn't say never, but why am I going to post my bad side on Instagram? Everyone who posts on Instagram posts their good side, the
good stuff. Yeah.
So that's fantasy.
Exactly.
Where's the reality?
So when I'm out here and I'm oh man, look at everyone. When I'm feeling stagnant, right? It's kind of good for me because it motivates me. But I'm here sitting down, I'm like, man, look at everyone else thriving. This guy's doing this guy's happy, she's happy, and I'm just here in my room. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone is posting that vibe. So if it...
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, the hardest part of being stagnant is actually noticing that you're stagnant.
Yeah.
Expand.
You just getting the motivation to combat being stagnant is a real struggle.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it's been different. For me, I know. I immediately it takes a while. It takes a while for me to feel stagnant, but when I am stagnant, I'm just yeah, you're not doing much, Hilly.
Nah, It took me 6 months to
Really?
realize. Yeah, it took me a while. My relationship last year started to deteriorate a little, and I realized, okay, like I started feeling like I'm not really feeling much, not really enjoying all the things that are happening around me fully and actually completely. If you guys are feeling things like that, this might be an indication that you are in a stagnant position. But yeah, only after a while I looked back and assessed the months before. I was like, oh, damn, I actually need to make some changes in my life. I actually don't feel like I'm moving anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took me a semester of law school.
Mm. Well, yeah. Well, back to like taking a step back. Like taking well, don't think like people have like generally have like an idea of taking a step back is just not really the right thing to do at first, but you really have to take care of yourself before you start doing anything that you want to do. Because if you don't go into like an activity or what a profession that you want to do with the right mentality, you're just gonna end up being stagnant again, and then there's gonna be a whole cycle of like depression and being stagnancy all over again. And so, like an example, like people, like I've been meeting new people as of recent, right? And people and say some like those people like want a friendship or a relationship. I'm not going to put I know in myself right now with what is going on in my life right now that I'm not going to put 100% into that right now.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't say I've sort of distanced myself from them at the moment because I don't want to like present myself right now like at 50%. I rather wait until I'm like my normal self and present like my full 100%.
Exactly, man.
Yeah. So because I'm not going to, and then if I formulate a relationship right now or any sort of like whether it be friendship, anything deeper than that, like that's just gonna ruin it from the get go. And so you really have to, well, just like going back to the selflessness thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to take care of yourself first before you take care of other people, or else you're just going to destroy yourself in the end.
Exactly,
and
also hurt other people too. Because I mean, Dom and I, October 6th was when I met Dom. We started dating in January, so that's that's not really a long time, but we hit it off really well, and like we both knew from literally 2 weeks in what we really wanted out of this situation, and neither of us were really in the place at the time, because I was going through some rough stuff on my end, and I knew that I just wasn't. There's days when I'd wake up and I just would not want to talk to anybody. I would not want, even if that person was Dom or my family or you guys, my best friends, and the way that and people have heard me talk about this a lot, because I do talk about it a lot because it's pressing and it needs to be talked about. But if you know that that the maximum you can give someone is 80%, don't form a relationship or anything with that person, because that person, if you're going to date that person, if you're going to form a union with that person does not need 80%. They need 110%. Not even 100%, 110%. Because I don't know about you guys, but the way I see relationships is like they're not just something for fun, and growing up in high school is different. We're like 14, 15, 16. I guess I never really understood that even at that time. But I mean, not that I never understood it, but I never really had a desire to just sort of like date people for fun. If I did date someone, it's because I genuinely, really, really liked them and I wanted it to go long term. I'm not going to say like marriage or anything, because that's a bit far fetched. But ultimately, it is a goal, because why else do you date someone? Either to marry them or to just have fun and break up. And I'm not here to have fun and break up. So I don't know. My roommate and I have a joke that he called me really intense, because I say something like I'm an intense man, because I'm always like, oh, I'm gonna marry this girl. Anyways, but back to the story. It's like if you know that you're not going to be able to provide that for somebody, just hold off. Just wait a bit longer until you've healed yourself, and then you can go. And that's exactly what Dom and I did. Well, she was very patient. Shout out to Dom for waiting on me for a couple months. Because Dom was ready way before I was, and I was like...
Yeah, but also, the don't think that waiting on somebody is to do, just letting y'all know.
True. If the that's subjective though. If the person is worth it, if the person is worth it in your eyes, then you can. Because I've seen. I mean, we're getting old, yo. I know we're saying we have time and stuff, but I'm 20. I don't want to be married at like 42. I want to get married like at 28. So okay, everyone's gonna think I'm stupid for this because everyone does when I say this. But I've like done like this little math, right? Again, I'm not good at math, but like I want to at least date the person for 5 years before I marry them.
Bro.
So if I want to be married, if I want to be married at 28, that means I have to find someone at 23, and I'm 20.
Nice that, bro. Nice that.
You sound like my ex, bro. You sound like my ex.
Wow.
No disrespect, but
No, Dom, defend me, bro. Help protect your man.
I think the reason that Haley and I work out is because we think the same way. So I know that I'm here to long-term goals with Haley, and the whole.
I'm Haley, by the way. I don't know if I introduced myself. Sorry, we're 1 hour in the podcast, and I'm just
I'm Haley Dawn.
I play tennis.
I think that at the end of the day, I think we both give each other 100% in our relationship, and the reason that works is because we both know that we want to be married by 27 is the age we said.
What? All right, yo, that's a discussion.
We'll deal with that tonight. And I think at this age we are at, we have to make so many critical decisions that it's easy to be stagnant, because one move right now at our age, you can mess up your whole life, and people sometimes don't realize that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you drop out and you chase your passions, let's say your passion doesn't work out, you'll be 24 chasing your passions, and then what?
Which at the same time, that's still not. I understand what you're saying, but people there's like this thing outside, like life has no timeline, you know. Like some people will be very successful by 20, and some people will be very successful by when they're 40. Success is success, but my problem is, and I think the problem that a lot of people have is that instant gratification, as a local man, we as young adults are very strange, you know, because we live in a world of instant gratification, yet we find ourselves stagnant due to delayed gratification.
Yeah, it's because it's impatience, really. That's where it stems from. In a sense, I read something from supposedly from Idris Elba. You know, it's one of those meme, not really meme, but like
name like that. You always gotta flex on us with the pronunciations.
That's how you say it, though. That's how
I say Idris.
It's Idris Elba.
It's Idris Elba.
Okay, look, man, Abdul Hakim. Since you're always trying to flex, that's like
Idris
with her Mac instead of anyways.
Yeah, sorry. He was saying essentially that, you know, people don't have this abundance mentality, and that is one of the things that holds you back in life. Once you don't get that one job that you want to get, or that one person that you want to be with, you think, oh, that's it for me. Like, I'm not gonna be moving forward anymore because that one person that I wanted, that one job that I wanted, is not, you know, I'm not getting it. Yeah. So that's another reasoning behind why people don't understand. That's why another reason why people become stagnant or start feeling like, you know, not really move nowhere. As we'd say in JA.
Yeah, man, I miss home, man.
Yo, I'm about to get real grimy in this bitch real quick. Yo, Daniel, bust out bomb real quick.
Hang on.
Bust a bomb real quick.
Sorry, I locked my phone. All right, how many bombs do you want, fam? How many bombs?
I want 2. All right. While I'm tying this do-rag on, you feel me?
George Tycho, bro?
Right? I'm just gonna put it in the most ignorant way I can put it. Like, our generation is a bunch of fucking pussies.
You're a bean.
Yeah, we're all beans, myself included. I'm probably the biggest bean I know. But going back on the instant gratification thing, that type of stuff, it really hits people though, because when I be texting people, right, we're having a long ass convo. Say I'm like texting beat on or something. And we're having a great convo,
Shout
and
out
then he
beat
just
on. Shout out beat
then
on
he-
Dylan. Sorry,
shout
to
out
interrupt you.
beat on.
After
Yeah, for real.
my real friends.
Yeah.
y'all roasted me.
So like I be texting beat on, and then we have like a long ass convo, and then all of a sudden he has to go to class or some shit, and I actually get angry.
Oh,
and then
what?
I get because I'm like, yo, we're having a convo, bro. Like,
Oh, you
Yeah,
violent.
yeah. And then I'm like, then I take a look in the mirror. It's like, oh, yo, are you stupid or something, dog? It's like people need to live their own lives. Like you can't be expecting everything to come
Facts.
on
Yeah,
a
that's true.
plate.
That's true.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
this.
Mhm.
Sorry to cut you off. I have this thing like, man. Sorry, Dom. I know you hate when I drag you into stuff, but like, I be having like the greatest day of my life, and obviously Dom's the first person I want to share that to. So I'll be texting her like, hey, yes, and then I just sit and I'll wait, and I have WhatsApp still open, and I'm just waiting for her to come online. And then she doesn't come online because, okay, contrary to common belief, Hilly, the girl has a life outside of like being on her phone, right? So like she's obviously doing whatever she needs to do, and then I get irrationally upset. I'm like, I will fuck you then. I'm off. I don't give a fuck. Like, it makes no sense. But I feel you, man. But
No, it's like it's stupid. That's another reason why I like took off Instagram because
stupid. You
yeah,
dumb.
I'm not like
dumb.
get a chance.
I'm not gonna let you get a chance.
Yo, 369, JK.
Oh, yo, man, that's whack. That's whack.
That's
6ix9ine
whack.
snitching on everybody.
But instant gratification really, really is a bitch because it does affect a lot of people. Like I be texting people, then I go do something, and then I try to text them back and say, "Oh, so you really left for an hour, huh?" I'm just like, "Yo, you can't give me an hour or something, dog." Like,
Allow
yo,
me, bro.
geez.
Allow it.
Jeez.
But I
And
just schemed of something, bro. I think I just found the formula.
on the formula.
So we feel stagnant. Huh?
Go ahead.
No, man. You
I don't like that laugh. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's what she does when we play GTA. She's about to like, throw a sticky bomb on me or something, bro.
I called him Plankton and nobody heard me. Go on.
Oh.
Yeah.
You say plankton?
Plankton,
As
bro.
in the guy who wants the formula.
The Krabby
bro.
Patty formula.
Oh, wow.
At first I thought it was because I was short, but like.
To each its own. Go on.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So the formula is.
Green. Sorry.
Hey, no, that's not funny, man, because you know I have a phobia. Nah,
I'm
right.
shorter than you.
Green.
Really. I'm shorter than you. Go.
Nah, okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, side note, before I get into this, I actually have a phobia of smelling bad, bro. Like, I cannot, like, God, that's why when this man just called me green, I actually smelt my pits, bro. Like, it really does something to me.
Sorry, that happens from living in Jamaica. Because people are loud you up. They will tell you directly, your armpits.
Is that why that's your biggest fear, Hilly?
Yes, fam, because it's so, dog, it's so embarrassing.
The first time Hilly ever was gonna meet me, he said he was scared I'm gonna smell bad.
Yeah, man, I hate smell bad people. Big man thing.
Yo, I fully can identify with that.
Brother, you know what else pisses me off though, dog? Is when people smack their lips. Yo, I want to bust somebody in their jaw when they do stuff, dog. Hey, yo,
it's an on-site thing if you.
On-site thing, 1, 2.
Okay, Hilly, the formula. Go.
Yeah, the formula. Anyway, sorry. The reason why we tend to suffer from stagnation is this. Let me lean forward. Oh, you guys can't see, but I'm leaning forward on my desk right now. Okay.
I can feel it. Go.
We feel stagnant because we're not making the progress that we think we should be making, right? That's the whole reason. Y'all agree?
Yeah.
And the reason why we're not making that progress is because the reason why we feel like we're not making progress is because we can't see the progress. And the reason why I can't see the progress is because the progress takes time. And if we don't see direct results quickly, we feel like we're not making the proper progress. So in a way,
and we're not aware of the fact that there is more than one way to get or start to feel that progression because we're narrow-minded and we're only looking at one particular goal.
Exactly.
In sight.
So going off of that, the formula is that the reason why that we suffer from stagnation, or at least we do. It's because of instant gratification, man. Because we're not seeing the results, so we feel stagnant. Ooh.
Yeah, and a closed mindset.
Let that sink in, yeah. But at the same, so one may be like, well, this obvious solution is to just not have instant gratification and not be closed-minded. But I'm not gonna say that, because I think instant gratification is good, because our generation, no matter what y'all old people listening want to say, we're innovative and we're progressive as fuck. Right? I'm being serious, man. There's like all these startups that I see at my school alone, these startup businesses, these apps, these developments made by young adults my age. Sure, we like shit. We like to have our shit now, but that means we go for it now too. That's what we can't really take away from.
At the same time, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, Haley.
Ooh.
I don't think instant gratification is a good thing.
How come?
And this also goes back to our conversation. Uncle, he and I and my older brother were having this conversation, and we're talking about building houses, for example.
Okay.
And us as young guys, we want to invest. We want to enter like the right industry and start a business and all these things. But it's like almost immediate when we were having that conversation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My brother, who is just like bought a piece of land and wants to start an agricultural business, he said right there, then and there, oh, okay, I'm gonna buy a block of cement. A bag of cement. I'm gonna buy some blocks. I'm gonna put them down, and I've been spending too much money, and the money I've been spending, I could have been using to actually progress with my farm. I'm gonna start making some changes instantly. That's his first response. And then my uncle said to him, "Okay, so where are you gonna put this cement? Where are you gonna put the blocks? You need to have a shed, right? So that means you need to build a shed. Okay, you're gonna have the shed, but then who's gonna guard the shed? Are you just gonna leave the shed unattended? That's people are gonna come and maybe steal the stuff. You're gonna have to hire somebody. So while we're here thinking about that, or just feeling the instant gratification, because that's an emotional thing as well. You want to feel like you're making progress, but really and truly you're making a decision that is not necessarily calculated, if you get what I mean. So okay, maybe instant gratification
is like rushing, right?
Lead to so it can lead to something good, because maybe you start a business, or you feel motivated to have a different idea or something, and to actually put that into reality, like convert the idea into reality. Sure, but when it's paired with and when it's just purely emotional, it doesn't work. When you think clearly about what you're doing, then it can lead to something good. But if we're honest with our generation, I like, in my opinion, we think enough. I think we more just act on impulse, because we're used to this fast-paced thing. We have to think quick, respond quick. The picture you're scrolling through, you just decide in 2 seconds whether you like the picture or not.
So scrolling through what? The thing cuts out for half a second.
Instagram. Yeah. You see a picture, you decide instantly, do you like the picture or do you not like the picture? That's maybe not the best idea, but the point is that...
Yeah, I know what you're saying, though. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I understand. And also to sort of go to... I understand. But at the same time, I think that as a generation, we're also somewhat balanced, because, as I said, we all have instant gratification, but we're sort of hypocritical, because we're also heavily engaged in delayed gratification. For example, everyone who's in school right now, right? I could have finished high school and gone to work for my dad, and I could be back home with my car, earning money, working for my dad's business. But I'm not. Why? Because that offers very limited growth. I could work for him all my life for sure. I could take over his business for sure, but I wouldn't have grown that much. What experiences would I have gotten? So, in a sense, anyone who really attends university, anyone who's pulling those all-nighters, anyone who's, writing all these papers and stuff like that, they're undergoing delayed gratification because they could be out in the labor force right now, but they're delaying that gratification of earning a salary and having a life pretty much. Not saying, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't really have a life outside of school because I'm always doing work, but they're delaying those aspects because in the future it is believed that it will benefit them. I'm going to school to get my master's and maybe my doctorate because I know that in the long run I will earn 200K a year rather than 60K a year. You know what I'm saying? So I think I definitely agree with what you're saying though, because it does make sense and there's real life cases and examples. But I also believe that to an extent it's a mixture. It can be polarized.
No, absolutely.
It can be polarized, but it can also be centralized around like the balance I spoke about. But if you look at the radical extremes, you can reach like what you talked about. So that's true. Anyways, what's the time? And anything else anyone wants to add? We've been we've been at it for a while. Fam, we've been going for 1 hour 6 minutes, and I actually forgot to start the timer. So it's probably like more like 1 hour 15. So if you're still listening, I love you.
Kudos to you.
Thank you. But Dom. So say what you guys say.
Just saying that at the end of the day, really, with stagnancy, it's acknowledging the fact that you're in a position where you feel that way, and taking the right steps to pull yourself out of it, and to actually be conscious about what you're doing when you're doing it, and not make an emotional decision right off the bat.
And I also want to say, I said that stagnation is caused by instant gratification, whatever. At the same time, stagnation is a bad thing, but feeling stagnant is not a bad thing, because whilst it can play games with your head and make you feel sad and stuff, no one wants to continue feeling sad. So if you feel stagnant, that I think is a testimony to the amount of drive that you have, that you're motivated, that you want to do something else. So there's some people who go through life and that way. I think exactly, man. If you go through your whole life and you don't feel stagnant, I don't think you're doing enough. Sorry to say.
Or you're lucky.
Yeah, true. You're extremely privileged. But yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. So I'm gonna just go over. So you get stagnant because of you're not making as much progress, and it really doesn't take a huge change in your daily routine and daily life to combat that. We like to do projects. It can be as simple as Bruce, taking a step back, chilling, realizing. It can be as Dom and look, man, say y'all in law school. You guys don't really like it, I know, but you guys are just gonna tough it out for the next few years, and then once you guys are out, you can do whatever you want, and you can have a safety net to fall back on. So
but I think at the end of the day, the most important thing to keep in mind is to make yourself and that you need to remember, I'm gonna get pretty deep. Life is very short, and doesn't make sense to live most of your life unhappy.
Actually, I actually have a quote to go that I have this quote folder on my phone. I really keep cutting you guys off, and I'm sorry, so I sound like an asshole. But my grandma, here it comes. She said, I remember we're in the car driving back from the supermarket, and she had just bought me my Timbit. Shout out to Tim Hortons and Timbits, man. Anyways, she goes, the time to be happy is now, and that means we need to make others happy and create a little heaven down here. The time to be happy is now. That's a good, man. Shout out to grandma. I love you, man. But
for sure,
like that's facts, man. Life is short. Why are you gonna waste time being unhappy? Yeah. Was that what you're saying, Dom? Along the lines?
Exactly my point, bro.
Yeah, man. Bro. I went from babe to bro real quick.
Nobody forget my Instagram bio. I'm trying to live by. Are we living or are we just?
Well, at the end of the day, though, just do what makes you feel happy.
Yeah, as long as that doesn't negatively affect other
people. Within reason.
Within reason, exactly. Because, like, for example, taking up the whole sidewalk makes me happy, but, like, I'm not going to push everyone into the street.
I'm very happy to kill girls.
Bro, if niggas take up space in my sidewalk, I'll drop kick them off into this.
I love how everybody overlooks the serial killer example.
Dom.
So,
Yo,
so
Big Mike.
what we're realizing here is that it's very difficult to really sum things up into a sentence or a phrase because there's so many factors that we may not be considering. But if you actually open your mind, broaden your mind, and try and consider as much as you can consider when you're making any decisions that you're making or when you're in the situation that you're in, broaden your mind, try and open up yourself to these different possibilities. That's the best way to move forward and to grow and to emerge from maybe the stagnation, the situation of stagnation or the stagnancy that you feel.
Good stuff. Should we wrap it up then? It's 7:01. We've been getting some weird audio cutouts, so I think that's a sign that we should hang up. So I just want to say thank you guys. This is our first podcast. I'm honestly not. If you even are still listening at this time, I really hope you guys are because this really means a lot to me. The only reason I wanted to do this is because I was feeling stagnant, and I think what's a better first episode to have, right? So part of the reason why I formed this brainstorm with Luqman actually.
Hey.
Gang. We're talking about that, and I realized I want to do something. I want to I have some pretty cool thoughts, and I know that my friend group, God bless them, Eagles, where you at, man? I love you guys. I'm so privileged to have such an amazing group of friends that we're all educated, we're all intelligent, and Dom. So I said, well, what better to share our views with the people and try and help them out with whatever situation that we've been going through. So I just like to thank you guys for participating. Bruce, again, I'm sorry. Bruce and I had like a fight like 5 minutes before this, so before this started. So shout out to
your
Bruce.
friends at Aunt and Eagles or your friends.
I just wanted some food.
Yeah, man. Man, that's how you know Bruce is a real one. Cause Bruce and I will fight, and then 5 minutes later, be like, let's get this done. So shout out to Luqman. I got the timing wrong. I woke Luqman up out of his good sleep.
Yeah, it's cool. It's all good in the head.
Shout out to Dom. Dom had a bunch of stuff to do today. Swimming, church. See this because of this podcast, so everyone's making sacrifices. So I'm really lucky to have you guys. Love you guys.
Even my religion's a sacrifice.
I got a text from this nigga. Look, man, to say, yo, I woke up with my blood clot, nice sleep.
Get your ass here, boy. Oh God.
All right, with that, I bid you guys salam. I'll see you. I'll talk to you.
Ooh, yo, see, why the man always gotta flex? Like, I'll plug you guys' Instagram and that. Well, Bruce is like fucking gone hippie on us because he doesn't use Instagram anymore. But
I mean, y'all can still follow. I can go on there sometimes, like a little bit. Like I posted.
You want a little gas.
Okay.
You want some gas?
Okay, Caitlin.
I got you.
Say, Caitlin?
Love it.
Yo, that was an inside joke. That does not leave.
Different podcast.
All right, love you guys. Take care. I'm off to tennis and edit this.
Yeah, fucking stupid dickheads.
Stupid. Are you
stupid?
All right, so.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.